So today we're going to start learning about data sets, which are groups of numbers, just like this list here that starts with 70. And we are learning how to measure their center or the middle. We can do that in several different ways. Now, I'm going to go through all four of these. Actually, each one is its own target, as you can see from the board. So what you can do is you can take notes over one. Go ahead and go get the practice sheet. The practice sheet will have groups of numbers where you will find all of the things, mean, median, mode, and range of all the number sets. So on the same practice sheet. So you could do the notes over mean, just go do the mean practice, hang on to it, then do the median notes, do the median practice. It'll be the same numbers, you're just doing different things. If you feel like you can handle it, you can take all the notes, use the notes always to refer then to the practice. It's totally up to you. I do not care which way that you do it. If that doesn't make sense, just let me know and I'll explain it to you again. But I'm going to go ahead and get started walking through this. It's in your math book, so find the page that looks like this. Then you have all the notes you need to be successful on these targets. Remember, there's four. The mean, let me figure out how to write here. There we go. The mean is the average of the numbers in the data set. Find the mean of the data set. So we're going to find the mean. MEAN. Now, we get to use a calculator, so that's the first good piece of news. I remember this because if you think someone's being mean to you, they might make you do a lot of work. And this one is the hardest one to do. And I just realized that I messed that up. It's not mean. I apologize. Find the sum. I didn't read it all. It's the steps. So you want to find the sum. Add all the numbers. Okay, so you're finding the total. Okay, then you divide the sum by the amount of numbers in the data set. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to add them up and get the total, then divide by 7 because there's 7 numbers. Now, like I said, you can use a calculator. I'm just going to line them up. And honestly, what I'm going to kind of train you to do, because for the other ones, this is the very first step. Very first step is putting them in order. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in order from smallest to largest. Okay, and this is just getting into a good practice because for the other ones, you need to put them in order first. Okay, so if you ask me any questions about this, my first question is going to be, did you put them in order first? Okay, because you'll get the wrong answer if you don't. Okay, now I'm just going to use the calculator on my phone. I would suggest adding them up more than once because you can make mistakes. I'm just typing this in. Okay, my first time I got 560. Okay, then I'm going to divide it by 7. I can do that on my calculator, but I'm going to go ahead and add them up one more time to make sure that I'm right. You can always hit a wrong button. And especially if you're doing this on the state assessment, you want to make sure that you're right. I got the same answer twice, so I'm going to go ahead and hit divided by 7, and that equals 80. Now, they're not always going to come out even. Okay. Now, if you want to go ahead and do the practice for median, you can go ahead and just pause this video, use your notes, go get the practice. You'll see it asks for all of these things, but you just concentrate on doing the mean or the average. That's the hardest one. Next one, I'm going to keep moving, is the median. Okay, median, I think about the road. And if you're on a 4-lane highway, you have that strip of grass or concrete in the middle, and we call that the median. So this is actually the middle number. Middle number. It's whatever number is in the middle. Now, this is what you have to remember. You have to put them in order first. After a set of numbers are ordered from the smallest to the largest. The middle number is the median. Okay, if there is an even amount of numbers in the set, find the mean of the two middle numbers, and I'll show you what that's talking about. Now, I already have, this is the same set of numbers, so I already have these in order. Okay, so I'm just going to write them again. If they repeat, you write them twice. Okay, now I'm going to get a different color. I'll use blue, and then this is what I do. I start down here, and I mark it out. I mark it out. So I'm marking out pairs and working my way into the center. This one isn't an even amount of numbers. Remember, it was 7. So I'm going to have one left over. Now, this is what it's talking about. So I'm going to make the list of numbers, but I'm going to leave out the extra 71. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mark out and work my way in the center. Oh, but do you see how if I mark both those out, then I wouldn't have any numbers left. So we find the mean of these numbers, which means I add them up. You're finding what's exactly in the middle. That's 5, 165. Then we take 165 divided by 2 because there were two numbers. And that's going to be 82.5. You can do that in your calculator. Okay, but I wanted to show you both of those. That's what you do. Now these last two are the mode. I'm going to change colors here. I like to do it each one in a different color to help you get it straight in your head. I think about mode is the most. The mode is the number that occurs the most. So it's the number that you see repeated. If there isn't anything repeated, then there isn't one. Don't put 0, put none. Okay, so we already know from looking at these that there's two 71s. That's the only number that's repeated, so that would be the mode. If each number only occurs once in a data set, there will not be a mode. So don't put 0, just say none. Now, what if 95 was also repeated twice? You can have 2 or 3 modes if they're repeated the same amount of times. So you would put 71 and 95. See how they're both repeated twice? Okay. Last one is the range. The range is the difference. I think about a mountain range and I think about the difference from the top to the bottom. So once again, I'm going to copy down my order because that's going to help me find the smallest and the largest number. Now, when you're working with the same data set, if you put them in order, you only have to do it once. So we're taking the largest number and finding the difference. So 97 minus 62. Once again, you can use a calculator, but this is some pretty easy subtraction. Okay, so now you have all the notes, whether you stopped and started or now you're going to go complete all of the practice. That's up to you. I would suggest when you're doing the practice, putting them all in order first, maybe finding the mean over and over again, then going back and doing the median. That way you get some repetition with the skills. Okay, good luck.